Hello, everyone. My name is Christopher Liam Rose. I'm an author, mentor, life coach, motivational speaker, evangelist, and a musician. Now, today, I've got a very important message that I want to share on YouTube. And it has been a long time since I've made a YouTube video due to situations with my channels, which I'm not going to go into today, the viewers, because just situations of my YouTube channels which kind of stopped me from doing YouTube videos online and making content. But luckily, I created a new YouTube channel and I'm able to do some of the content which I would normally share on YouTube. Now, for today's video, I've got a very important message that I want to share. And the reason why I'm making this video is just to inspire people who have gone through serious situations, challenges, circumstances, things that have happened to them, problems they face, situations they've gone through, that you are able to do the work for Jesus Christ and God and do the work for ministry, even though you've gone through difficult times and challenges and pain, struggles, and the list goes on to what people have gone through and experienced. So this video is my story. So I call this video Christopher Liam Rose Life Story Homelessness into Ministries. Now, normally, I wouldn't share such a personal story of my own on videos on YouTube, but I find this video to be one of the most important videos I would make because it shows that obviously I wasn't a perfect human being, but I can go through homelessness of what I've experienced into doing the work of ministries, which is a very difficult thing to really do if someone really wants to desire it. So let's talk about my story and where it all began, basically. So before this date that I'm going to share in the video, I just want to explain who I was before, so people don't feel like you don't have a past of your own or you haven't gone through different life experiences or things like that. I just want to explain it briefly. So I was a musician, having my own music business called SGR, which stands for Stargang Rock Stars. This was a music business that I was a founder of. I founded the company around 2010, 2013 when I founded it. And I was basically a musician. So part of my gifts in my life is to do music. So I've always had a passion for music, songwriting, music production, vocals, performing, and doing music. So that was my life before, and that's how my life was when I was younger. But this change that I went through changed everything in my life. So in the 30th of September 2014, I just want to explain where I was at the time. So I was in my music business, like I said, doing music, writing music, performing music, doing music production and making music. I had a relationship with one of my ex-partners when I was younger, so I was in a relationship. Thought I was happy in the relationship, thought things were going well. So I thought at that time as a young person, just doing music in a relationship, I thought, my life is in a good situation. You know, nothing's going to happen to my life as far as challenges and situations. I was happy doing music. I was happy. Well, I thought I was happy in my relationship. And I thought, yeah, everything was going well. Everything was going okay in my own understanding. And then slowly in 30th of September 2014, I went through a life changing experience, which completely changed my life from where it was a CEO, founder, musician, into being someone that is very vulnerable, mentally depressed, psychotic, unwell, challenged, and homeless. So basically, I lost my home and all of my possessions in the 30th September 2014 in a fire that burnt my flat. I shared this to a few individuals and a few people do know about my homelessness from losing my home and all my possessions. So, in the 30th of September 2014, I didn't have a home. I lost my relationship because my ex partner broke up with me. I didn't have money. I wasn't in my musical business. I didn't have clothes. I didn't have somewhere to work or support myself. So that was the challenge that I went through in the 30th of September 2014. Now, people have said to me over the years, and when I share my story like that, how did you change your situation? Now, what did you do? How can you just go from being a music owner, a music business owner, having a music business, having a relationship, your relationship falls apart, your musical business is gone, you're basically your livelihood and your home and your possessions is gone. So what did you do to get out of that situation? What was the change that you went through? How did you kind of really overcome those challenging, serious situations? Now, I've said this to a few people of how I overcome homelessness and my reasons for doing what I do in my life today, which is completely different to how it was before. So, what changed me was this. After I lost my home and all my possessions in the 30th of September 2014, I basically was homeless. I know that's not good for people to hear, and I get people may empathize with my suffering and my pains and stuff. I do understand that, but please don't feel sorry for me just because I was homeless in some point in my life. I didn't have possessions or money or career or opportunities, but what I learned. So basically, like I said, I was homeless. I didn't have anything. I was young, challenged, mentally psychotic because I have mental health conditions of schizophrenia, psychosis, and depression. So going through mental health challenges, difficulties, you know, being basically vulnerable with nothing in my life. Obviously, my family tried to support me and stuff. My friends tried to support me, whoever they were at the time. But I was going through my journey and my situations at that time. But then when I got sectioned into hospital for the last time in my life, it's been kind of nearly 10 years since I was sectioned. I was sectioned in hospital in Springfield Hospital because I didn't have nowhere to live. I was young. I was vulnerable. I didn't have a home. I didn't have a business. I didn't have work. I didn't have money. I didn't have clothes. So I needed somewhere to stay. So being sectioned in hospital gave me somewhere to stay, if that makes sense. And as I was going through my challenges, my difficulties, my struggles, thinking about what I want to do in my life, thinking about how am I going to get out of the situation that I'm in. Partly, it was my fault for going through what I went through. I should not have been burning candles in a flat. I should not have been maybe alone when I was kind of mentally depressed and psychotic. I shouldn't have been, kind of just trying to overcome my distress of losing my partner in a relationship. So partly I'm to blame for what happened to my home and stuff because I was young. I was probably 24 at the time, and I didn't know that was going to happen. It was kind of a thing that I wasn't aware it was going to happen. It just did. So in hospital now, going through my problems, going through my challenges, struggling with basically nothing. And then my life sort of changed at that point. First of all, I met someone that's my inspiration, my spiritual hero, the person that's helped me the most in my life, Paul Dorrington. He was at the time an employment specialist, but now he's a leader employment specialist. Paul met me when I was in hospital, and a lot of people don't understand this part of my story, which is fine. When Paul met me when I was in hospital, I didn't have a home. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a business. I didn't have clothes. I didn't have a relationship. I was just alone, mentally psychotic, in mental health hospitals. Paul started to talk with me. Paul started to empathize with me, and I told Paul. I think Paul was the first person I told my story to. So I said to Paul, "Look, I'm homeless. I'm in hospital now. My life is in a horrible situation, but part of me does want to work. I do want to have a job at some point in my life. But I feel like a job or employment or a career would actually help me to get out of the situation I'm in. So I feel like I need to work. I feel like working would help me in some part of my life." Paul said, "Okay, you want to work?" I said, "Yes, I want to work." "Okay, well, I'm going to help you to find jobs that you want to do." This is when my trajectory of my life changed, because before I met Paul, like I said, I was just a musician. I wasn't helping people. I wasn't serving anybody. I didn't do content like this. My life was just not in that way. And then slowly after, I started to work with Paul for a number of months in the community when I got discharged from hospital. And as I was working with Paul in the community, Paul was teaching me certain things, which I've said to people for a number of years in the content that I've shared. So Paul started to teach me about mental health, about recovery, about employment, careers, about spirituality, about God, about faith, about just maintaining your health and your well-being, about resilience. There's so many things that Paul taught me in that short period of time. Paul then referred me to a clinical psychologist, and her name is Karen Michigan. Now, when I had the support of Paul Dorrington helping me to get into employment work, support of Karen Michigan helping me within my mental health condition, trauma, past, losing my home, my relationship breaking up, other things I've experienced within my childhood and my upbringing. And I don't want to go into the whole list into this video today. They both supported me, both helped me in some part of my life. Now, when I say Paul and Karen both helped me in some part of my life, I wasn't doing what I'm doing today. I wasn't the individual that I am today. I didn't go to church. I didn't believe in God at some point in my life. I didn't have a faith because my faith was destroyed when I lost everything. So what Paul and Karen did for me, I tell you exactly what they did for me. They gave me hope, they gave me control, and gave me opportunity. First of all, they gave me hope because at the time I didn't have hope. I was young, I was vulnerable. I was going through a lot of challenging situations, circumstances. So they gave me inspiration and hope to change my situation, both of them did. Then they gave me control. Once I started to work with them, I got control of back of my life, how it should be, what I need to do in my life. Where do I need to go? Where would I need to work? How can I get back at home? How can I get back possessions? What should I do? So they gave me back control of my own personal life, which I never had before because it was already gone. Then they gave me opportunity. Paul got me my first ever job as a co-facilitator when a Hearing Voices group for an organization called Mind. Karen gave me opportunity to actually work in the actual career that I chose, the mental health industry. So both of them gave me the opportunities to do what I'm doing. So then what happened from there? Because I had the opportunity based on what Paul and Karen did for me. And like I say to the viewers today, they are my inspirations. They are my role models. They are the people that I respect, I admire, and I have the greatest love because they helped me when I was homeless. My life changed. That's how I changed. That was the change that I needed in my life at the time. Then I decided to start working in helping other people. Before I wasn't helping other people, I was a musician. Before I didn't have jobs in helping other people because I was a musician. Before I didn't support people, like I said, because I was a musician. So I wasn't in the helping other people vocation. I didn't support people until I met Paul and Cameron, who supported me when I was homeless. Then my life started. That's when my life actually started. Because before, the mental health side of my life, the challenging upbringing, the problems in my childhood, family relation problems, ongoing problems and issues that I was facing throughout the years. I needed two people to inspire me the most in what I was going through. And those two people are the two people that I just said, Paul and Cameron. And then I started to do the work of helping other people. This is when I started to support people in what they were going through: mental health work, mental health recovery work, peer support work, employment specialist support work. The list goes on to the amount of people I've helped. So I'm not saying this is going to be everybody's situation because my life would be completely different to another individual's. But for me, from being specifically homeless in 2014 into slowly transitioning into helping other people, and then just as I was transitioning into helping other people, I redeveloped my faith. I redeveloped my spirituality. I redeveloped my Christianity. And I redeveloped my relationship with Jesus Christ and God as I was on the journey, as I was doing the work of helping other people. Because at the time in my life, I wasn't helping other people. I know how it is to be someone that's a client or someone that's going through a serious situation and you're not supporting anybody when you're in your situation. I really get that. Just believe you and me, viewers, I get it quite deeply within my life. But like I said, slow transition into doing the work of helping other people, then slowly transitioning into ministries. Now, when I talk about ministries, this is what people gets confused because they just think, oh, you're just helping people, isn't it? In your life, you're doing work that helps people. Oh, you don't have issues, you don't have concerns, you don't have worries, you don't have fears, you don't have challenges you've been through. You're just basically helping other people. That's not just the things I do in my life. It's not just based on helping other people. There's more to it. As I was going through the transitions within my life, homelessness, helping other people, and then ministries, it was a process, like I'm explaining in the video. It wasn't something that I just rushed into. I decided to become an evangelist. I decided to preach the gospel. I decided to minister to people. That's not how my life worked, and that's not what I've done in my life. It wasn't like that. I went through the process, the homelessness first, then helping other people, and then ministries. Now, people say, when you say ministries, what are you really talking about? What do you mean by that? Are you talking about just believing in God and just believing in Jesus Christ? Are you talking about just being a believer in church and just going to church every Sunday? Are you talking about just reading the Bible for yourself and learning the scriptures? Doing the work of ministry means you are somehow helping other people. Right? That's what it meant for me when I was younger. I'm now 35. I've been doing this work for over 10 years. So doing the work of helping other people means you'll do the work of ministry in some part of your life. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that it doesn't come with its challenges. I'm not saying you're not going to go through certain struggles and sufferings and pains and adversities that your life will experience. You will go through all of that. You will go through your sufferings. You'll go through your pains. You'll go through your disappointments. You'll go through your struggles of this is going on for me. This is my life. I can't cope with it. Oh, these are you will go through that because it's part of the journey from homelessness into helping other people into ministry. It's part of the journey you need to go through for yourself. Slowly after that, you can start doing the work of ministry. Now, from my experience, I'm just going to share two scriptures to help the video today. I could share more scriptures, but I just want to keep it simple in this video. So John 3:16 is the first scripture in King James Version or NIV. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ. Whoever believes in Jesus Christ shall not perish, but have eternal life. John 3:16. Philippians 2.4. This is the scripture that actually got me into really doing evangelism myself, which I'm going to explain. Not looking into your own interest, but each of you to the interest of others. John 3:16, Philippians 2.4 are scriptures within the Bible, which if you are in faith, you should have learned those scriptures already. Now, I just want to explain it now because we're talking about it. How can someone that was homeless, lost everything he had, didn't have a home, didn't have a business, didn't have a career, didn't have money, didn't have clothes, didn't have opportunities, didn't have hope, didn't have control of his life, change his life to help other people, give back and make some sort of difference. And as he was helping other people, giving back and making some sort of difference, changed his life into a spiritual type of a life, spiritual way, into ministries. It goes back to the simple thing I said in the video, going through the process. Going through the process is not an easy thing to do. It's by far the most challenging thing you will ever experience within your life. But if you're if you're an individual that has the people people have different words to view it as. They'll say the audacity, they'll say the courageousness, they'll say the inspiration, some people. They'll say a desire. I've got one word for it. If you have the passion to change your life, because it takes a certain level of passion before you can go through the process. I'm not saying my life has been, oh, it's just been easy and now you're privileged enough to say you've helped hundreds to maybe even thousands of individuals within the last 10 years. I'm not saying everyone gets to have that opportunity within their life. I'm not saying everyone gets to do what I've done. I'm not saying everyone gets to be an evangelist the way they need to be an evangelist. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is in my story, and as I'm sharing it online tonight, go through not my process, because I already went through my process. I've explained it in the video today. Go through your process, whatever that may be. Each individual has a different process to go through. And then this is where the confusion normally lies. Oh, so why are you in Christianity and spirituality faith? Because that's where my path has chosen me to be. Not because I specifically chose it myself. That's not how it works, because it wasn't like that for me. Because I went through a process of change, spirituality. You can't. How can you get from? And this is just rare in my example of it. How can you get from homelessness into helping other people, into ministry work? And it's only been 10 years since all of this has happened. And I can say I've helped hundreds and thousands of people over the years from my own experience. Sometimes it takes your own experience before you can be, I call it, passionate enough, inspiring enough, inspirational enough to do something for somebody else. The most important thing of my story is helping other people, giving back and making a difference for somebody else. Not for myself, because I already got helped when I was younger, like I said in the video. So my work is basically not for myself. I don't need money or anything like that to do what I do. So, like I said, when you're passionate enough, when you're kind enough, when you're giving enough, that will be the inspiration for you to go on to help a lot of people. Now, just before I end this video tonight, and I'm kind of happy I've shared this tonight, you have got to pay a price before you do the work of ministry. I know people say you're just young, saying that you're only 35 and you're saying you have to pay a price to do the work of ministry, to get involved in it. I'm not saying when I say do the work of ministry to get involved in it, you just work in a church, because that's part of it. I'm not saying that isn't part of it. I'm not saying that most people who are in faith and in Christianity don't work in a church. Most people do work in the church. Most people are a part of the church and they do work within the church when they get the opportunity to do. But that's not, if you really want to get into the work of ministry, you learn what you need to learn within the church first, and then you use what you've learned within the church to go on and build your ministry. That's how it normally works when you think about ministry work. So, spending all your time in the church and just working in that church is not going to make you help other people who do not believe in the same faith outside of the church. So I'm not saying to not have a church. Have a church, be with God, be with Jesus Christ, yes. But the real work starts once you've left the church, once you leave the building, once you're out of the church premises, when you're at home, for example, or at work in your community, or in a local area with your friends and family. It normally starts after. You're meant to learn what you need to learn within the church in order to do the work after it. Most people don't get to that point because they haven't been on the process of the journey. You've got to be on the process, on the journey to learn that. Like I said, it's not going to be an easy thing. It'll be the most difficult thing you go through. But that's part of the journey. That's part of the process. That's part of the things you need to learn. If you don't learn it, you may help other people in what they're going through. And a lot of people do help other people in what they're going through. That's if that's the work you've chosen to do for yourself. Good. Okay. We get that. We really do get that. Okay. But if you want to do the work of ministry, pay your own prices first, which is it's hard. It's hard. It's not my price of just going through the process wasn't that easy. Pay your own prices first if that's something you need to do for yourself. Shortly after that, shortly once you pay the price, people say, but you're just young saying this, isn't it? I was 24 when I changed my life, not before and not after. I was 24, 25 when I changed. Before 24 and 25, I didn't change. But now that I've passed 24 and 25 into 35 for 10 years, helping other people. I paid a price before I did the work I was doing. I didn't just do the work I'm doing just like every other person. It wasn't, my life hasn't been like that. My story that I'm sharing tonight hasn't been like that. I paid the price before I started to help people. So a lot of people say, but oh, you know what someone's going through, you empathize with them, you're compassionate to people, you understand their problems, you know where you've been through, you've gone through your challenges. Yes, you have your disappointments and your struggles. That's what gives me the energy and that's what gives me the passion to help these people, if that makes sense, because I've been in their situation. I know how it is to be vulnerable, to be depressed, to go through challenges and these concerns and problems in life. I've been there, but I didn't choose to stay there. I chose to live a life where I learn from my own experience. And that's not a selfish thing at all. It's what I had to do in my life to help other people and to somehow in my life, which is hard, very, very hard, from homelessness into ministry work. And now I can say for a very confident reason and very powerful that I'm sharing this. I've done at least I've actually done more than this, but at least 58 recorded evangelisms at the moment. 58 recorded. I didn't say like on paper or anything like that. No, 58 recorded videos of my work as an evangelist. Before I wasn't recording my evangelisms, that's why not all of them is available on video. But for 58 recorded evangelism, which shows each individual evangelism that I've done and recorded for myself, and no one records my own evangelisms other than me. I do the filming myself, I record it myself. I've got the equipment and the technology to do that sort of thing. Shows the importance of evangelism because if I didn't record it, I can't share it. If I don't share it, then people can't see it. And if people can't see it, then they can't do it. Sometimes you need to see, learn, do as part of understanding. You see it first, then you learn about it, and you start doing it. And that's the thing when it comes to just doing the work of ministry. You learn, you understand it, you try to do it in your best way. And ministry work is all about learning. You're not going to be perfect in doing it. No preacher, evangelist, teacher, healer, apostle, minister, whatever you whatever you want to name the different types of people in faith. They don't they all learn from the journey. You learn to contribute to people, learn to help other people. You learn not to live a life based on you yourself, or what's going on in your life. Learn to contribute to others and help other people. If someone really desires helping other people, and I will say now, maybe that's one of the powerfulest things you can ever desire. If someone really desires helping other people, go on to make more contribution than just the work you're doing, just opportunities you're a part of, just the volunteering or the businesses you're actually doing. If you have a faith, if not everyone does, but if you do, go on to do the work of ministries because you will see by doing the work of ministries, you get to help more people. What's the word for it? In your faith and spiritual life. If you help more people in your faith and spiritual life, that gets rewarded. That does get rewarded because you're doing something where you have gone through something difficult, where something hard you've experienced, but you still have the desire and you still have the passion to go on and help another individual in what they have experienced. That gets rewarded. Jesus Christ and God will honor those people that do that. I'm not going to say just by honoring those people who do that, it'll be a financial. It's not going to be a financial. Don't, don't, don't perceive it as it'll be a materialistic thing like a house or a car or a relationship. It's not based on that. It's more spiritual. Spiritual rewards I'm talking about. Not material things, but spiritual things. When you help other people give back and make a certain difference. So I'm happy I've shared my story this evening. Uh, as always, I'm not on YouTube as much as I used to be before, but at sometimes I will share videos that I find very important. And my story is very important to me. Please, whoever's watching this video, and hopefully it will help somebody that does watch it. Whatever challenges you're going through, we understand. Whatever pains you've been through, we empathize with you. Whatever suffering you've experienced, we really, really get it. Use your pain, use your suffering, use your problems, your emotions, feelings, anxiety, stresses, whatever you experience, to go on and be a blessing and help other people in what they are going through. Once you do that, maybe you might enter into the work of ministry. Not everybody gets the opportunity to work in ministry in their life. Some people have. Their life will be different compared to somebody else's, and some people haven't. We've all got the opportunity to do it. It's just it takes sometimes a lot to learn before you do it. So I hope this has helped. This is just my video for today. If you do want to watch some of my evangelisms that I've shared online, there are some on YouTube, which I'm trying to get videos back on YouTube based on like what happened with my YouTube channels and stuff. So my evangelism videos are available if anyone wants to watch it. As always, thank you for watching my videos there, viewers, whoever's watching. I hope it has helped somebody who's actually watched it. As always, make a difference and a contribution. Serve, give back, make a difference, make an impact, help other people in what they're. So thank you for watching this evening and have a good evening. Take care now. Bye now.